I go with the sustainability diet, which I don't always agree, I can tell you, with the Harvard School of Public Health. But in this case I do. And under Walter Willett and his recommendations, they called it the sustainability diet. I kind of like that name. It's for sustainability of the planet. We all should be environmentalists. If you're not, please get on the bandwagon. Your earth is being poisoned. You might want to know that. Just look at any of the news about plastics and heavy metals, you know, in the oceans and everything else, and air pollution, and we're in trouble. So sustainability diet is for maintaining, hopefully, a viable planet, its health, and the health of humans, and also understanding about animal cruelty, caring for animals and not doing what we've been doing with confined feedlot. Animal raising is horrible. I mean, that's why they won't let film crews in anymore, because it's too horrible to see what they do with animals. So what is the sustainability diet? Fundamentally a plant-based diet. You get most of your protein from plants. And by the way, the data on, for example, bone health, and by the way, the endocannabinoid system is very also involved in bone. So bone is, I always defend bone. I've been told in the past bone is boring, don't talk about bone. Bone is not boring, bone is fascinating. It's a not only is it important so you don't end up like a crumpled jelly bean on the, you know, like it's just a jellyfish or a jelly bean on the floor, you know, you can't move, you can't do anything, but it's also very, it's a metabolic, hormonally active tissue. It makes a hormone, osteocalcin, which is important for brain cognition health and for glucose regulation. It's a very important organ, and the endocannabinoid system is very heavily linked in bone health. And so we definitely want to get healthy bones. Plant-based proteins are better for your bones than animal. We have a lot of data on saturated fat. We need some, but not much. And a little bit goes a long way. It's good for your brain in terms of being happy. You do want to have some saturated fat, but not much. So 3 ounces, and that's like 1 egg. 3 ounces of animal protein a day, and only 3 ounces of red meat a week. But you can save your 3 ounces, pool it together, and have like 1 big roast beef or steak once a month as your special treat. So it's not really a deprivation diet, it's a sustainability diet, unless you think that eating nothing but animal protein or being told not to do that is deprivation. But honestly, plants are wonderful. There's so many, and the more that you eat, the more diverse plant-based diet you eat, the healthier your endocannabinoid system will be. And so you start with foundational things like diet, movement, fitness, exercise, stress control. Okay, so there's a lot of data now on the endocannabinoid system and its relationship to cortisol. They're very linked. So when you have chronic stress, the endocannabinoid system will become dysregulated, and it will dysregulate your cortisol. So it's all related. So it's really everything that functional medicine and integrative medicine doctors have known. It's just now we have another layer that we've added. So you still have to do all the same things, but now you know you have to support another system. The other thing that is really important is I have to defend the defenseless. So somebody has to do it. So in the past, I've had to defend fat. Now fat sort of come into its own, but now I have to sometimes defend plants against the keto diet. I don't want to call them crazies. We'll say, you know, a little bit over the top. Fanatics, right? They're like fanatics about everyone should be on a ketogenic diet. So I'm all about being in a ketogenic state, but not constantly. That's not how most humans would have evolved on this planet. I'm not saying there aren't some societies that ate more fat. We know that there have been different societies on this planet that have eaten different kinds of diets and yet have thrived, because humans are immensely adaptable. You know, that's why we're not extinct. We are immensely adaptable to all kinds of situations. But we have to look at what is generally optimal. And we're not Inuits. You know, we haven't been eating omega-3, and plus well, that's eating like tons of omega-3 and so on from fish. But, you know, that's a little different group. But, you know, when they say like a little bit ancestral, eat what your great-great-grandmother ate. If, you know, it's difficult if you come from, if you have great-great-grandmothers from 20 different, you know, parts of the world, you know, and they're all blended. But, you know, go with the majority of what your ancestors ate. That's what your microbiome has dominantly adapted to. So we definitely want to try to eat according to that. And so in terms of getting a ketogenic state, how did people get it? They got it by fasting. And you burn your own fat. You create your own ketones by burning your fat, not by eating fat, but by burning fat. And that puts you into a whole state when you do periodic fasting of autophagy, you know, where you're rejuvenating your cells, you're killing off, you get apoptosis or programmed cell suicide of crappy cells, you stimulate stem cells, you rejuvenate your body, you increase brain-derived neurotrophic factor, brain growth factor, so your brain becomes smarter and happier. So there are ways that we should access all of our innate mechanisms, but it's not by eating a ton of fat, it's by fasting. Is it harder? Yeah. Who said any of this is easy, right? No, it's not easy. But is it worth it? Well, everyone has to decide for themselves. How valuable is your health? I think it's priceless.
Yeah.